If you think that camping does not come with any type of politics, pull up a chair, because if you think it's just sleeping bags and s'mores, you're about to learn some things that'll drain the color out of your whole world view. You are going to hear some ish that'll turn you white. And if you already white, you're about to be whiter than white. By the end of this episode, even the ghost that's floating around is going to be like, damn. So, Crazy Keon, why are you talking about politics on a camping show? It's real simple, because you need not be ignorant no more. You need to know how your money moves, and that's just the bottom line to it. When it comes to camping equipment, listen, money talks, honey. And right now, money is yelling. Do you hear what I'm saying? When interest rates rise, it doesn't just hit your credit card or your car note. It hits every single thing and every single part of the outdoor world. You feel it before you even leave the house. That tent that you wanted last year, boom, it's now $80 more. That RV that you've been dreaming about, that payment went from maybe one day to I need 3 jobs and a GoFundMe. Even kayaks are out here acting like luxury cars because that's how much they costing. Now, let's not even get started on gasoline. Gas goes up, camping turns into a staycation in your driveway real quick. What used to be a cheap camp weekend now becomes a whole financial seminar in your household. Let's be real. Maryland is robbing folks, okay? They robbing folks at the pump. One of the highest gas taxes in the region. Automatic hikes that you never voted on. And every fill-up gets more expensive before the gasoline even hits your tank. And guess what? It ain't just regular petroleum. We talking diesel fuel too. That's not market. Please understand that. That's Maryland taxing your camping trip. People love to say camping is for everybody. Well, yeah, until the economy says otherwise. Interest rates, they set a tone. And guess who influences these policies, the appointments, and the direction of all of that? You guessed it, a politician. Folks in suits who ain't slept outside in decades, pulling levers that decide whether you get to enjoy a weekend under the stars. So when somebody says camping has nothing to do with politics, baby, your whole backpack is political. Let's talk about federal money, because that right there is the heartbeat of our national parks. See, what people fail to realize is that national parks do not run on fairy dust. They run on funding. Trails don't maintain themselves. Rangers don't patrol for free. Bathrooms don't magically stay clean unless somebody's paying for it. And when the federal budget gets sliced up like a Thanksgiving turkey, some parks get the drumstick, others get the ass, and some of them just get the scraps. Have you ever walked into a park and thought, why does this park look like it ain't been touched since 1973? That's not wilderness. That right there is budget politics. When the money is good, you've got well-marked trails, clean campsites, and safe spaces, updated facilities, all that good stuff. But when the money is bad, you got potholes, broken picnic tables, missing signs, frustrated staff, and maybe a raccoon who looks like he's running the place. Federal and state funding also shapes access. If politicians put money toward big name parks, but ignore the smaller ones, local spots, guess who loses? Communities. You heard it. And look at Maryland. Patapsco State Park is camping in a demilitarized zone. Half done electric, pads that look like they were poured during the Civil War, and the back end space that feels more like good luck. I hope you don't hit a tree. That's not nature being rough. That's funding being non-existent. See, when local parks get ignored, families lose their closest, easiest access to the outdoors. And once again, that's politics, deciding who gets quality nature and who gets whatever is left over. And people forget something big, all right? All land is not free land. Somebody owns it, somebody controls it, and somebody decides who gets access. And that somebody is usually a crook. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. A politician or some type of larger political body. One vote can open thousands of acres of beautiful land or shut the whole area down to the public. Public land, private land, protected land, leased land. These aren't nature's decisions. They're policy decisions. And those decisions affect whether you can take a hike somewhere, camp somewhere, fish somewhere, or if you're getting hit with a big old no trespassing sign. Whole communities lost access to nature because of land swaps and policy changes that happen behind closed doors. Forests get sold, lakes get restricted, trails get shut down, and you don't know about it until you show up like, wait, whoa, hold on a second. Why is this gate locked? Camping becomes political when people in power treat nature like a business card instead of public right. You want to enjoy a peaceful night under the stars, but that depends on someone you've never met signing a document you'll never see. That's politics all day. If you've ever camped by a lake and thought, is this water supposed to look like Gatorade? Congratulations. You've seen politics in action. Environmental regulations determine how clean your campgrounds are, how safe your water is, how often wildfires burn, and even whether the forest you love is still standing next year. Wildfire management, political. Logging rights, political. Pollution limits, political. Air quality, political. Fishing rules, political. Here's what you got to understand. Every regulation or rollback shapes what your camping trip looks like. Some places that used to be beautiful are now suffering because someone in an office building somewhere decided that protecting the environment was not a priority. And then you're out there camping like, why does this river smell like a chemistry class? Politics, you heard it. Politics decides whether nature is protected or exploited. And when politicians play tug of war with environmental rules, you know who feels it first? Campers. The outdoors doesn't vote, but it sure does react. Here is the part a lot of folks don't want to talk about. Politics decides who feels safe and welcome in outdoor spaces. Now, let's take a trip down memory lane for a second. Historically, outdoor recreation was not made equal. Okay? In case you don't know, there were lands and public spaces set aside by black people and other indigenous people strictly for them because we weren't allowed to go hang out in certain places, okay? From segregated parks to underfunded urban green spaces to policing practices that make certain people feel watched, the outdoors carries an ugly political history. So representation matters. Policies matter. Funding matters. The stories we tell matter. And when certain communities grew up without outdoor space or with negative experiences in them, you better believe that shapes who shows up to camp today. And still today, the conversation around who belongs in nature get political real fast. People gatekeep. People judge. People act like camping is a private club with membership rules. And those attitudes come from generations of political decisions. When you say that you're going camping and folks look at you sideways, that comes from somewhere. See, let me just make it plain for the guy in the back. Politics created barriers. Now people are reclaiming the outdoors, saying, hold up, nature belongs to everybody. And that's why we're having these conversations. Because feeling safe, welcome, and respected outside isn't just a vibe. It's the result of good policy, history, and cultural narratives. So this is the part of the conversation where I contemplated how to handle it, what to say, and really what to do. But the reality is, this is a conversation that needs to happen. So if you are offended by somebody talking and telling the truth, you might want to skip to the next chapter. Now, let me go back up a second. Politics created barriers. They created the barriers. But people have reclaimed the outdoors. And now we already said, hold up, nature belongs to everybody. And that's the point. Feeling safe, welcome, and respected outside is what we want. It's not just a vibe or a hashtag. That is the result of decades of struggle, of communities demanding access, and of people refusing to let history write them out of the story. Now, think about this. Every park, every trail, campground, and green space you enjoy today exists because somebody had sense enough to fight for it. Politics had to be challenged. Budgets had to be redirected. And yes, politicians had to be called out on their foolishness for neglecting their community, which they were elected to serve. And to make no mistake about it, okay, there's still a long way to go. We got a long way to go. From underfunded urban green spaces to restricted trails, from cultural gatekeeping to systematic exclusion, the obstacles in some places are still there, hiding in plain sight. Now, this is where you might want to skip to the next thing. As a black man that has been camping for 40 plus years, I'm going to tell you this right now. I have grown sick and tired of this ish about sundown towns and black places that black people can't go. I don't want to hear that anymore. All right. If your money is green, go where you want to go. It's as simple as that. You telling me that I can't go somewhere because I'm black? Come on now. That's putting us back in an unspoken Jim Crow era. That's what it's doing. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let my generation or my kids experience the hatred that my parents went through, all because of a mindset that can't move past 1972. Now, with that being said, NAARVA, I don't want to say it, but I got to. Stop hosting rallies if all you doing is talking. You were built on building tables for black folks. Well, build some damn tables that Generation X and millennials can sit at. Because if the truth be told, you have left us no point, no way, you have left us out there to the point where we got to build our own tables. And you know what we found out? Building our own tables work. We're showing up. We're creating spaces for us. We are reclaiming what's ours. My question is, what have you done for us lately? An FMCA. I don't know how to say this other than to just say it. Stop acting like a country club. You opened up to trailers and towables. And that was a great thing. Yet you're still acting exclusive. Lobby for the people who pay their dues month after month, year after year. Stop letting politics run the show from behind closed doors. Go into those congressional halls of the Capitol and make these crooked, lying politicians know we deserve better. We deserve a place to enjoy this country, and it is your responsibility as a politician to fund it. People are pushing back. They're showing up, camping where they were told they didn't belong, reclaiming spaces that were supposed to be off limits and a force to be reckoned with. That's not luck. That's resistance. That's activism. That's community. And the foolishness that allowed these barriers to exist, it's getting exposed. One campsite, one trail, one table, one family, and one camper at a time. Politics may have built the walls, but people are tearing them down. And we're not stopping anytime soon. You know what? I'm feeling a Ronald Reagan moment right now. You remember when he told Gorbachev, tear down that wall? Well, we are tearing down our own wall. The politics wall of camping. The barriers, the gatekeeping, the neglect, the you don't belong here attitudes. It's all coming down. One campsite, one table. I say it again, one trail and one camper at a time. And just like Ronald Reagan challenged the world, we're challenging the system that kept folks out of the outdoors from all nationalities and all creeds for way too long. The outdoors belongs to everybody, and we're taking it back. No excuses, no shortcuts, no politics standing in our way. It's ours, and we're not waiting for anybody's permission.
Let's go.